Good morning all. I thought I'd do a little bit of honing this morning. It is the 19th of October, a Thursday. Only a couple of interesting razors came my way. Here is a rather nice, it's the Crown and Sword razor, extra hollow ground, and of course it's German, and of course it's by Ern. It's got a little bit of corrosion on the heel, so that's got to go. A tiny bit, only on the edge. But the main thing is, let me just show you what I'm about today. There is a nice new diamond plate. And my old one is now going into retirement. It's utterly worn out. That's the 1000 grit side. And it's honestly so smooth now. There's very little you can do with it, except you can trim up the edges of razors. So if you want to put a dead straight edge on your razor, or even rock it a little bit, yeah, a worn diamond plate, probably a good idea. Anyway, back to the chase. Here is the methodology I'm going with today. This is a cheap, very cheap, Chinese 1000 grit stone, which I have already lapped. The only thing about these 1000 grit Chinese stones, they're very, very coarse. But I'm going to put a few strokes on that, just emphasizing the heel. And I'll do the usual progression. I'm not taping for the simple reason of the previous owners hadn't taped this particular razor. So there's a modest amount of hone wear already on the spine, so I don't care. I'll put a little bit more on. I would say the heel, I'm just putting a bit of pressure on the heel because that's where the offending corrosion lies. Let me just check that. Then a few other experiments today, but I'll go into those in a moment. I'll put my eyepiece on and have a quick look. Yeah, it's better, but not quite gone. One of the things I wanted to try today was I rescued, let me show you. I rescued this very, very early Sun Tiger razor. Now the Tiger, of course, was pre-1925, before it became Puma. So this is like about the earliest Puma you can get. This one came from America. It's got the full Letter Young and Company. So it's Letter Young and Company on this one. They all vary. Solingen, Germany. But this was a wreck. It was very, very corroded. Still savable. So I thought, okay, I'll buy it and I'll save it. So now, as you can see, no corrosion at all. But of course, it's got a completely dead edge. So again, this one needs resurrecting. I'm not going to do my usual trick of putting a tape on this one. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of wear onto it. So I think we'll just go for a fresh start on the edge. So let's have a little go with this one. This is going to take a lot more work because the edge is dead. I'll test how dead it is against my nail. Thus, yep, that's completely dead. And of course, I'm a baby tomato edge tester. Yep, totally, completely dead. So let's give that a good old sorting out. When you really have to remove some steel, I find rotary tends to be a little bit more efficient, these rotary strokes. Then you can go back to doing the usual up and down. The reason that I don't turn on the spine so much is in the early stages of edge setting, I'm very less likely to do a cock up. But on the very fine stones, I do tend to roll like that, just in case of an accident. Anyway, I'm not going to waste all your time by wittering on concerning methodologies for edge setting. There are many, many much more capable people than me, particularly amongst my many friends. Obviously, the great Glenn Mercurio, the wonderful Gary over in Nottingham in the UK, and of course Devon Jackson. There's another great meister of the natural stones. I'm not a great in favour of natural stones. There's too many variables. However, no. Yeah, it's coming a little bit, but not much. The other thing I was going to do, just to really set me in the mood, look what this came from. This is a little American barber's hone. Now, I've been assured that these are actually a composite material. I believe I'm right in saying they also have some very clever attributes. They have some sort of self-cleaning agent in them. You're not supposed to put them in hot water. You're only supposed to put them on cold water. They recommend shampoo. There's the instructions. $5 originally, but this is in very, very lovely condition. You can see there's a slight resistance to water, but I want to try this. I've never used an American barber's hone, so that's for later on this morning. Let's put him down for a moment. I'm going to go back to a few more strokes just to set the bevel on this unbelievably rare little 4/8 rescued tiger. I'm rather in to the early razors, German early razors, and of the various makes that I've tried, the ones which are probably most numerous out there for everybody is Puma. They're still being made. The Puma company still makes them. But the very, very, very nice quality steel. They're always boasting about being best German Puma steel. I'm not sure what they really mean by that. Anyway, look at that. We're building up quite a nice layer of grey swarf. Being a Chinese stone and of no great cost, in fact this is very cheap stone, I've got a feeling it's probably made from old brick dust, because it's the colour of brick dust, it feels like brick dust, and I never thought I'd be honing a razor on a brick, but there you go. It's 1K, it's rough as a bear's backside, but it will do the job. In fact, what I'm going to do in 2 seconds is give it the old tomato test, which is invariably my favourite. Your nail is still good, I'm not knocking that. Yeah, it's just starting, yeah, but only in the middle of the blade. This has a nice straight edge, so I'm not going to compensate and try and give the heel or the toe any more work. I'm just going to continue until we can actually get somewhere. But the steel, supposedly on the letter Jung and Suen, or the Yatte Jung early German, is very, very high quality. I shall find out and report back. I might shave with this later today. If so, I'll post up a video. I'm rather more keen on resurrecting the edge on that rather nice bigger fella here. This, which is the crown and sword, this is the one which is in better condition. Look at the difference in size between them though. Huge difference in size. But this is an urn, so we know that this is a a good quality razor. I'm being very cautious about the amount of time I leave the steel on my draining board in the kitchen, because eventually, this is why I use cold water. If you use warm water, it actually accelerates the corrosion process, and we don't need to worry about a whole process like that. I've done as many as 4 razors honed at one time. I wouldn't advise it. It's really chancing your arm. One, you can forget the number of stones you've used. The other thing is, of course, if you use warm water, you will get corrosion on the edge. And that is, oh, that's better. Oh, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Ah, we have an edge. Look at that. Yeah, that's bevel set. I didn't bother using a felt tip marker because I knew that I had a perfectly clean, perfectly straight edge, and that, yeah, really, as it had quite a life before me. I'm just looking now. I can see the witness marks. See the witness marks now on the spine. Those show you you've got a very nice parallel spine, and there was no need, as it's such a small razor, there was no need to try rocking and rolling it. There are no warps in it, at least none worth talking about. I will probably do the same with this lovely fella. What I will do is another little trick. Here's my new, now this is the new diamond plate. That's a 400. Yeah, no rock and roll at all. Yeah, as I suspected. That is a very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. I still think I can just see, let me squint. Oh, only a fraction. Just a fraction of corrosion on the heel. Very, very little. Half a dozen strokes towards the heel. As I've already hopefully explained, I've slightly cheated today. I want to do several blades, and I really can't be asked with doing a very, very thorough process. But that, I'm just going to check. Do you know, I honestly think that that is a saved edge and a reset edge. Let's have a look under my 5 magnification, that's all it is. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. In fact, a couple more, I'll call that done. A bit more water. By removing the slurry off the stone, you do slightly reduce the friction and therefore the metal loss. So although this is in theory a 1K stone, by now being quite gentle with it, it's probably a kinder way to do it. I don't know. The next stone will be my nice Japanese Nanawa Professional 3K. That doesn't remove quite as much steel. There's a far more refined stone. So I'm going to soon go on to that. Let me just check one more time. And then we can say we've got two razors. Now it's still there. There's still a little bit of corrosion. Oh, you little sod. Right. I'm just going to put a little more a little more angle, a little more bias, because there was only corrosion on the heel. The rest of the blade pretty good actually. In fact, I didn't really want to do a bevel set, but I think I had to, because the corrosion pits, I've got a feeling if you've left a corrosion pit on an edge, it's more likely to catch you when you go to shave with it. So I think that'll do. One more check and we'll call that a day. Oh, it's 99% gone. I'd be quite happy to go now onto, yeah, I'd go on to a 3K now rather than remove more steel. So saying, he goes back and does a bit more. 99% isn't 100%. And then I'll be ready to bore you to tears by going through the whole progression of synthetic stones. Actually, I wouldn't be so cruel. It's very good of you to listen to my mumblings, and I appreciate it, I really do. Especially to any new people who have subscribed to my channel. All I'm doing, I'm not pushing an agenda. This isn't about glorification. All I'm trying to do is to convince people that the world of the straight razor and straight razor shaving is worthy of following. I mean, I'm old enough to have used every razor known to man in the past, all the disposables. I even used my dad's, when I was young, my dad's double-edged so-called safety razor, which of course is only as safe as the person that's using it. You can still cut yourself. Anyway, that's the urn done. I'm now going to wash this stone off and just very briefly test out my nice new diamond plate on the next stone. So that's that one. Put him there to slowly dry. And here you can see is my 3000 Nanoir. That's a lovely stone. And I'm going to put a slurry on it. I'm going to make sure it's nice and flat using the 4000 side of the diamond plate. You really got to go to town, but it's worth it. Nearly there. When all the pencil marks have gone, you know you've got a dead flat stone. Yep, 99% gone. A little bit more water. Gosh, that's sticky. Ugh! One very sticky stone. There we go. Wash off the slurry off the plate. And we're ready to go on the 3000 Nanoir Professional. The other thing, I don't know, perhaps I'm being a bit silly, but I always make sure the plate is well washed off, because you can see the colour, just trapped a little bit of colour here and there from the last stone, and you contaminate the next stone. So here we go with the 3000, and as you can see, it's already slightly darkening the slurry, so we are removing the steel. I'm not going to bore you to tears by going through an entire progression. Martin's progressions tend to be quite long. I've got too many stones and I'm not going to waste them, so I'm going to use them. Anyway, look at that. Isn't that a nice colour? We've gone from basically a creamy pinky white to a rather disgusting grey. which means all that is steel. So I'm going to say that that is enough. I will check it under the glass just to make sure that my last inspection was accurate. I think it was. I think it was like 99% gone on that corrosion at the heel. There you have it. Let's have a look, see. The other trick is knowing when to stop. What a lovely witness. That's I'm rather pleased. I'm not a great believer in tape or non-tape. The argument goes on forever. But the one thing I would say with a worn razor, not a mint razor, I always tape on a rare or a mint razor. But certainly on a worn, relatively lower value razor, it does give a very good indication. Look at that. See, at the moment, that has the greyness of a coarse steel grind. But when I've finished, that will be mirror bright. Yeah, that's good. That's ready for the next stages. I think this is going to be a nice little razor. Look, chaps, I really don't want to bore you to tears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my various stages. These two razors within an hour will be absolutely perfect. I want to get this one in particular shave ready, because this, as you can see, can I show you? I think you can see, is the Tiger. And they are as rare as rocking horse shit. So, if you excuse my French, this is a very, very, very worthwhile restoration. And I'm looking forward to using it. Anyway, chaps, that'll do for now. I'm going to finish these off. Thanks for watching. Do try and tune into my channel. All I'm trying to do is progress myself and everyone else in the finer arts of straight razor shaving. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.